Hi, it's me, Nikki. Welcome to my reset journey where I am on a journey to reset my mind and make God the anchor of it. In Jesus' name. I haven't been on here in a while, and I want to say that in this time, there has been a lot going on, and I'm trying to do my best to document everything. I'm not doing good with it. I had vertigo for about 4 to 5 days, and I was like kind of stuck in a certain position. I still managed to read because I was putting like the Bible right in front of me. I was having to do my studies at night when everything would kind of calm down sometimes. Anyways, I am doing a whole lot better, not 100%, but I did want to share some stuff that happened today while I was reading a book that I have shared on my podcast in the past. It's called The Freedom of Forward. And I finally got to the last pages, and I want to share it with you because it, well, let me show it to you. It just kind of blew me away. Now, this is me talking to my inner child, my past. You are the reason I refuse to give up. You are the reason I have the faith I have now. You are the reason I hear the volume behind a stranger's silence and learned to use my own voice. I couldn't be who I am now without loving and learning from who you were. You. Using everything that was broken, bruised, and buried within you. Taught me the importance of building with every shattered piece and not throwing a single fragment or insight away. You, the former version of myself, needed to fall so that I could learn how to fly. I see you. I understand you. I love you. But now, I release you and every fear, offense, and insecurity that I carried with your memory. Your impact and experiences will always be a part of the chapters we shared. Now, it is time to continue writing my story with your wisdom and without the weight of your wounds. This book was designed to tap into something. I kept saying that every time I shared up. I was like, I feel like it's tapping into my soul. I feel like it's making me confess things I never wanted to share out loud. I feel like I'm not alone. Like the person who wrote this, I feel like they went inside my mind, inside my heart, inside my soul, and then just started writing what they saw or what they felt. And I didn't expect this book to be this deep, but I feel now reading the last page that it was designed to reach that place, like dealing with your inner self, inner child, if you want to say, going back there and then just putting the completion of like, it's over. And I don't know how to necessarily take everything in or how to express what it is I read. But I imagine, and I'm going to use this scenario because this is what kind of came through my mind. Say you were abducted, which God forbid, right? But say you were abducted and you were put into like this house of horror where they were kept you captive and you had to live by their rules. And basically it was just, you were bound, the house of horror, but you got free. Somehow, some way you got free and you escaped and you're a survivor. You're not a victim anymore. You're actually surviving out of that place. You're out of the house and you have a life now. And let's say you're married and you have kids. You have a whole life now. You're not in that house of horror anymore. But it changed you. The house of horror did change you. You may be wiser now. You're more cautious. Maybe you don't trust everybody the way you used to, because now you know that what some people are capable of. Some of it's real wisdom. You have more faith in God because you were praying to Him and you finally got free and you got this wisdom now and you're stronger because of it. And you have a life now. But every day when you're going to work or dropping off your kids, you pass by the house of horror. Is it necessary to pass by that house? Why pass by that house? And every time you pass by the house, you remember something. And then the thought gets in your head. Then you relive the emotions, everything you went through. And then you're kind of right back in that place. Although physically you're not there anymore, but mentally and emotionally, you're tied to that place still. And that's why you live your life now from it. Although you're free, it looks like you're free because you're not in the house. But you're not really free. It still has a hold on you somehow. And you're still replaying stuff. And you're still having nightmares. And you're still hurt. But you don't want to talk about it. You don't tell anybody you're passing by that house. You keep it to yourself. The thoughts that run through your head. The ones you replay and envision and change it around sometimes. I wish I would have did it this way. Or you don't tell nobody about it. No, but the worst person who knows about it is you. Because you're the one who has to live. It doesn't matter who knows about it. The point is you do this and you're hurting yourself. You haven't really moved on. Some days when you're in a hurry and your life is too busy, you might forget to pass by that house. There's days where you don't. But when it's quiet or certain things are happening, you tend to drive by it again. Some of us are like victims to our past, to our memories, to our trauma. And it's stuff I didn't ever want to talk about it. But like when I was reading that book, when I read it out loud, I read certain stuff that I was like, I never told nobody that. I never admitted that. And I'm not saying like it's saying like these super like mysterious things. It's common things. I'm just the type of person who like, I don't want to tell you my feelings. Like I don't want to talk about it. I might share some other stuff, but nobody ever really knows like the inner hurts of me and what I ruminate on. What I'm constantly rehearsing. Nobody knows. Certain words that I've replayed that other people have told me or actions they did against me. I don't understand why they did it. I keep thinking about it. I don't know why. I'm not who they say I am. I don't live from that place, but those conversations, those accusations live rent-free in my mind. The way I was treated or things that I thought about myself. So when I read that part, I see you, I understand you, I love you, but now I release you and every fear, offense, and insecurity that I carried with your memory. Your impact and experiences will always be a part of the chapters we shared. Now it is time to continue writing my story with your wisdom and without the weight of your wounds. We can take the wisdom from it, the strength, the faith, but we can't keep replaying the pain and bringing the pain. It's heavy. It's heavy. It's hard to carry all of it. There's like there's got to be like a separation between the wisdom you took from it and carrying all the pain and all the trauma and trying to carry it with you on your back. Just take the wisdom out of it. Know better. Don't do the same mistakes or don't go around the same mountain time after time. I don't know if I know how to explain this right. I just read this today and I might touch up on it again when I really, have a talk with God about it and I really just kind of break it down little by little because I really don't want to just bypass it like it's just another book I read. This book literally opened up some things in me that nobody could get out of me. And it was just me and this book and God. God has put me on this journey where I ask him, Lord, reveal to me all the forgiveness, all the unforgiveness, all the past pain, all the things that I forgot, all the hidden traumas, like anything you feel or anything that you know, Lord, that is going to be freedom and good for me. Bring it up to the surface. Just bring it all up. And I'll share it with my friend Sandy, and you can check out her podcast. I'm always talking about her podcast. It's amazing. Here's a picture of it in case you need to see it. I was sharing on one of her podcasts how metal goes through like an intense fire. And that fire brings up all the impurities to the top. And it creates like a foamy, whatever it's called, dross. It's just all the impurities that come up to the top. The heat didn't create that. The impurities were already in the metal. the heat just exposes it and pulls it up to the surface. It pulls everything to the surface, exposing all the impurities. Okay, so what do you do when everything comes to the surface? Well, you wipe them off. And what's left behind is the purest form of metal. The purest form. So I didn't realize when I was asking God, yeah, God, reveal everything to me, and everything started coming up to the top. I was like, what do I do with it now? Like, I wanted you to reveal it to me. Now what? And one by one, we went through it. We went through each pain, each memory. And I looked at it, and instead of looking at it as like, oh, I'm the victim and this happened to me and look how bad this person was and can't believe they did that to me, I started to reframe the memory. And I said, okay, this is 41-year-old Nikki looking at 16, 17-year-old Nikki. What am I missing here? Where was God? And then I'm like, oh, there he is. God protected me from this becoming more than what it could have. I remember this certain person coming into my life or sharing some wisdom with me. I remember feeling peace looking at this certain thing. I remember something telling me not to go there. And I'm glad I didn't, because this ended up happening that night. God saved me from that. I was protected from things getting even worse. I started to see God in everything. I started to appreciate it. All the things that I was so sad didn't work out. I was like, oh man, thank God they didn't work out. I see it now. Although I loved that relationship, I'm glad that it's over because it wasn't good for me. I do miss this friend. I do miss that, certain relatives, but they needed to be exposed. I didn't understand that pain. I was just looking at the betrayal that I forgot to see the release of the freedom of that type of exposure that I could have brought on to my kids or to my family. Who knows? Or my past marriage where I was praying it would be a good marriage, you know? But it wasn't good. It's not where I needed to be, and I couldn't see it at that time. I looked at myself as a failure, like I wasn't lovable, or it was my fault, or I wasn't good enough. And I went back and I looked at it, and I saw where God saved me from certain situations in that marriage. And the moment I got free, and God guiding me out of it, and then I saw it. It's like a puzzle coming together. Oh, this part goes here, this part goes here. And I just started to appreciate my past in a different way. And I started to appreciate God in my past. And he didn't look so much like a failure anymore. I could see him in each piece, each puzzle piece, making the picture, the broad picture come together. And then I just become to be so thankful. And then I see the parts where I let weakness take over me and the fear take over me. And I repented from it. And I told God, help me be better. What is it that I did? What is it that I'm not learning? Why am I constantly coming back to this? Why is this such a big issue in my life? And then he started showing me about the nervous system and how that's being used against my mind when it's going against the nervous system pattern, and the renewed mindset are clashing. And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm just not getting it. Why can't I receive it? Why can't it be for me? Because I was thinking that because I'm renewing my mind and just because my nervous system is acting like the old pattern, I was taking that as my faith wasn't strong enough, or I don't believe, or I have a trust issue. Like maybe I don't have the faith that I need, or maybe I don't trust God enough. And it has nothing to do with that. Not only do you have to renew your mind and reset the mind, but everything we put our body through, it has a memory too. It craves certain things. It's scared of certain things. It has triggers. It sets off alarms, panic attacks, thinking, no, let's not do this again. Remember how much it hurt? But with the renewed mind, you can go through it again and say, it hurt a lot last time because I didn't have the tools that I needed. But now I have a different understanding. So let me calm my body down and say, it's going to be okay. You can feel anxiety, and that doesn't mean you have lack of faith. The faith is going through it even when you don't feel free from anxiety. To feel the anxiety and the panic and still say, but my God freed me, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's not the things seen or felt, it's the things hoped for. That's faith. Believing to be free from something that is so loud in your life. That's faith. It's the moment when I say, I'm never going to change. It's never going to change. I'll always have these issues. That's the moment you just give up. But to go through it, even with the fear, even while feeling all the things, and to say, but man, my God is good. And the thing is, we don't want to go through it. Who wants to go through it? Nobody wants to go through it. And I feel like the reason I'm resetting everything and trying to really stick to it is because I keep thinking I'm going through it alone. Because everybody has failed me in my life. Everyone who I have loved so much has left me, except for my grandma. And I'm talking about the people here on earth. But everybody, friends, family, husbands, have had me feel that I can't trust you. So I'm going to make it to a point where I never depend on you. And I only have myself. But then even I failed myself. Because even I gave up on me. Because instead of looking at my past and using the wisdom and the strength and the faith that I grew from it, I'm still thinking I am that weak girl. That I'm still a victim to my circumstances, and I'm not. I learned from everything. But because I let these imaginations in my past just keep replaying themselves over and over, I start to think I'm still there. Because I feel it. I'm seeing it. And then I feel the emotions that came with it. Then I start to act like it. But what if I started to think in my new identity? And Christ says I'm free and forgiven and whole. And I can do all these things. And I'm seated in heavenly places. And, you know, I've got the righteousness and all the things. Like, I'm like, wait, what? I inherited all of this when he died. Because for you to get an inheritance, somebody has to die. And he died. So I received these things. Just like when my grandma died, I received this home. I signed the paper and I accepted it. Well, Christ died. So we inherited. And I say I believe that he died for my sins. And I believe you are the one true God. So I signed it. I'm there too. I agreed to it. We made a covenant together. I believe you did these things, and I believe you did them for the sake of the way you love me. So I accept all the things that come with receiving you. I'll receive your righteousness. I'll receive being in this royal family. I don't need to act like my past or live from that place. But if I live from this place where you're telling me I am now, I'm a new creation. All things are passed away in the past. I'm not there anymore. What if I started thinking about those things? What if that took over my mindset? What if that's what I rehearsed every single day? And every time my past tries to creep in and I'm tempted to drive by the house of horrors, what if I took a different route? What if I didn't drive by there anymore? Well, if I quit driving by there, I'm missing out on another scenery. There's another route. What type of scenery does that look like? I'll never know if I keep passing by the house of horrors, carrying the weight of the pain. What if I took the new route and enjoyed the new scenery and just let what God wants to do in me just happen? What if I just believed that all of this was for me too? Because when everybody else said you weren't worth keeping, or you weren't worth me staying with, or you weren't worth me fighting for, I have a Father in heaven who died for me. And I shared this with my friends the other day, but I used to have this picture on my wall. And it said, I asked Jesus, how much do you love me? And he stretched out his arms and he died. So every time I stay stuck thinking about all the people who left me and said I wasn't worth keeping, I'm overriding what my Father in heaven did for me when he said you're worth it. Even when you don't want me, you're still worth me dying for. I'll still die for you. You're worth it to me. Can't you see? Out of all the creations I made on this world, every mountain and ocean, grassy field and flower, every animal, every beautiful thing that you look at and you're like, wow. While you're looking at this creation, I'm looking at you. And I'm saying that's the most beautiful thing I've ever created. He looks at us and he says, you surpass every wonder you see on this earth. Anything you call beautiful. No, my masterpiece are my children. God says we are his masterpiece. And he proves it time and time again. And if you need more on it, then open up that 66 book love letter from Genesis to Revelation. And go find out for yourself how much he loves us. But every time we focus on who didn't love us, it's like we're telling God his sacrifice wasn't enough. Well, because they rejected me, you know. It's going to go above everything you've done. That's what you're saying. I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of living in my past where I didn't live up to anybody's, what they thought I should have been for them. And when I wasn't, they threw me away. I don't want to live in that place. I don't want to pass by the house of horrors anymore. I got a new address, man. I'm not even from this world. Our real address is up there. That's why we don't feel, like connected with this place or feel like we belong. We're not even from here. And I know if you hear that, you're going to be like, what is she talking about? But I think the purpose of that is nothing on this earth will ever fulfill us. That's the purpose of it. We're not from here. It can't fulfill us. Anything that we need for fulfillment does not come from this earth. It's temporary. We're missing the everlasting, This is where I'm at with this journey. It's a lot. So much happens from one week to the next. And I want to do better by sharing it and posting it. Mainly for myself. So much revelations happen. I'm like, I don't want it just to pass me by. Don't let me forget. I don't ever want to forget. Yeah. Anyways, you guys have a blessed one and I will see you on the next video.